Okay, now it's okay. So right now I have told you about the railways, I have told you about the trains and about the three different types of trains. The first one is the passenger train that by which we can travel. The passenger train carries the passengers, the people from one place to another. Second one is the goods train that carry goods, fruits and vegetables and so many things that are needed to be transported from one place to another. They are carried by the goods train. And the third type of train is the metro train. The metro trains are only available in Kolkata and Delhi. We can see metro trains run in Kolkata and Delhi. And express trains and local trains are also there. They are the passenger trains. The express trains, we can travel long distances by the express train. And if we need to travel short distances, then we can travel it we can travel by the local train. Okay. So this is all about the railways. And here is a history that is also given, that the first railway was started by the British government in 1853, and that was between Bombay and Thane. And what was that distance that the train covered? The first train that covered 34 kilometers. This is the distance that the first train in India, it covered 34 kilometers between Bombay to Thane. Now let's come to the next part, that is the waterways. Okay, so I have told you about railways, I have told you about the roadways also. Yesterday we have learned about the roadways also, like the national highways. You have already learned about the national highways, state highways, district roads, right? Pakka road, kacha road, or metal road, non-metal road. We have completed this part. So this is these are the transport systems in India. Waterways are also available. Waterway, what comes under waterway? The ships and the boats. Okay, all these things. So let's see what is water transport or waterways. Water transport is the cheapest means of transport. It is fuel efficient and eco-friendly as well. And India has a network of inland waterways in the form of rivers. So in the form of rivers also, steamers and boats and launches, these are available. These also carry the ferry, what we call the ferry. They also carry people from one side of the river to the other side of the river. You must have seen the boats and steamers and launches, right? They are used to to go from one side of a river to the another side of a river. Similarly, ships are also available there, and the inland waterways means rivers and canals and backwaters are also there. Backwater means, I have already told you that when the sea meets the land, in between there is a short passage where there is no force or no particular the current of the water is not available there. That is called the backwater. That is a very narrow and short passage where the sea meets the land. Just exactly there it becomes narrower, and that water is called the backwater. So in the backwater also many different means of transport like boats are available. So they also carry the people from one side of the waterway to the another side of the waterway. And it is the most suitable for transporting heavy and bulky goods. So ships are generally used for transporting heavy and bulky. What does this word bulky mean? Bulky. Bulky means things that take places. We need places. So things that will take so much place, so we cannot carry it by train, right? So things that are bulky, that need some space, if we place them, it needs some space. It will occupy some occupy some space. So that is called bulky. And the things that are heavy, these things are transported from one place to another by using the different types of ships. So what are the different types of ships that are available there? Passenger ships, cargo ships, and tanker ships. Okay, these are the three main types of ships that are available there: passenger ships, cargo ships, and tanker ships. So now you can see I'm just zooming this part so that you can understand it well. So passenger ships, So from the name, you can understand that passenger ship means that carries the passengers or people. Cargo ships, they carry only goods. Like in case of trains also, you have seen passenger trains, they carry the passengers or people, and goods train that carry only goods. Similarly, cargo ships will only carry the or transport the goods. Now, petroleum and oil, these are carried by the tanker ships because tankers or tanks are available there inside that, and those tanks are filled with petrols and oils. So this is why they are called tanker ships. So these are the three different types of ships. Now, in case of trains, from where you get in the train and from where you get off the train, that is the station, right? Railway station. Railway stations are available where the train stop and from where the train starts, right? Similarly, there are ports that are available from where the ships will start. Here you can see there are 12 major ports and 187 minor ports. Major means the main or central, and minor means small along the coastline of India. Mumbai is one of the oldest and most important ports in India, and the other seaports in India, they are at Kochi, Kolkata, and Chennai. So ports are the places from where you will have to get in the ship, start your journey, and where you will have to end your journey also. So from the port, the ships are the ships will start the journey, and they will also come to the port. So as in case of the railways, we can see the railway station. Similarly, in case of waterways or for the ships and the boats, mainly for the ships, ports are also available there. There are 12 major ports and 187 minor ports available in India. So here in the next page, go to the next page, page number 86. Here you can see that three different types of ships. The pictures are also given here. I'm just zooming this part so that you can see it. Can you see this one? The three different types of, here it is, the three different types of ships. This one is the passenger ship, the first one. So these ships carry only people from one place to another. The second one here, you can see here, this is the cargo ship. Okay, cargo ships only carry the goods from one place to another. And the third type is the tanker ship. Tanker ships are used to transport oils and petroleum from one place to another. You can see tanks are available there, and these tanks are completely filled with petroleum and oils. The last part of this chapter, that is the airway. We all know that roadway, railway, waterway, and airways are also available. Airway includes the use of aeroplanes and helicopters. By aeroplanes and helicopters also, we can travel from one place to another. But this means of transport, that is using the airway, that is not cheaper. It is very much expensive. Okay, that means it takes a lot of money if we compare it to the other means of transport. Traveling by air is the fastest means of transport, and it is also the most expensive means of transport. What I was just telling you, expensive means it needs a lot of money if we compare it to the other means of transport. Aeroplanes and helicopters are means of air transport. So many things like vegetables and flowers, and that can be transported through airways, and people also travel from one place to another. And they are also used for carrying the mails. Helicopters are very useful during the time of flood and drought and wars also. So during the time of flood and drought, you already know what is flood and drought. I'm not telling it separately. During the drought, these are all the natural calamities. And during the wars also, when we cannot reach some remote areas, then by using the helicopters, we can send so many things like food. The people who are staying there who cannot get the food, we can give them the food, we can reach the food, we can drop those foods from the helicopter so that it can reach the affected people very quickly. And airports, so as you have seen the railway stations, you have learnt about the ports, and similarly there are airports also from where the flights will take off and land. So from where, if you want to travel by the aeroplane, then you will have to go to the airport from where you can get your flight. The flights will take off, it will leave the airport, and it will land or enter the airport. Some of the important airports in India are Indira Gandhi National Airport International Airport, that is present at Delhi, and Chhatrapati Shivaji Airport, that is present in Mumbai. Airlines are the companies that provide the air travel facility. So there are many companies that provide this air travel facility, and they are of two types. One is domestic and another is international. Domestic airline means domestic airlines only deal with the aeroplanes that will carry the people carry the people from one place to another, and the places will be within the country, within the same country. But international airlines will carry the people to to the foreign countries or to another country also. So is it clear? Domestic airline will carry the people from one place to another, but the places should be within the country. And in case of international airlines, it will carry the people from one country to a separate or to another country. And another short information is given here at the last line. You can see in India, the government airline is Air India. So Air India is totally controlled by the government of India, and there are many private airlines also. Names of some private airlines are SpiceJet, Indigo, Kingfisher. Okay, so many private airlines are also available. These airlines link all the major cities in India. Okay, so airlines are the companies that control the travel facilities. They provide the travel facilities that control the traveling by using the airways. Okay, some national or domestic airlines are also available. International airlines are also available. Domestic airlines will include only traveling within the country, traveling to the places within the country. And if you take international airline, then international airlines will carry the people from one country to another country. And an airline that is controlled by the government of India is Air India, and the names of some private airlines are SpiceJet, Indigo, and Kingfisher, and so many other airlines are also available there. So this is it. This is what is written in the chapter. Now I'm giving you all 1 minute in the chapter. In short, I will tell you that what we have learned in this chapter till now. I'm just sharing the whiteboard. And after that, I will see that those who have raised their hand, I will just talk to them. I hope you all can see the whiteboard here. So let's summarize what we have learned in this chapter. So at the very first, what we have learned? Transport, definition of transport. Okay, so when you will read this chapter, at first you will read the definition of transport. What is transport? Okay. After that, what you will read? After that, you will read different transport systems of India. Okay. After that, you will read different transport systems of India. These different transport systems of include one, roadways. Number two, railways. Then number three, waterways. And finally, number four, so these are the four main transport systems of India. Now you will read in detail. Okay, you will read in detail about each of these different transport systems. How you will read? So first of all, you will read about the roadways. In the roadways, what are the main points? Here you have learned about metal road, or the road. And you have also learned about unmetalled road. So these are the topics when you will read this chapter. You read these topics. Unmetalled road, also known as Kutcha road. After that, you, how many types of highways you have? You have in national way. I'm writing as NH. Then you have seen the state highway, SH. Okay, writing. So you have seen highway. Then you have to learn about state highway. And at the end, you will have to read